This versus debate is rated B for blurred. Grab your swords, drones, and comic books because we're about to get black and nerdy. You have been warned.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to Versus Tuesday, brought to you by the Blurred Mob. I'm your host, Foot, joined by my two co-hosts, Ryan and Ralph. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and any other streaming service, make sure you hit that follow button so you can get updates from the mob.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to like the video, subscribe, turn on those bell notifications for future uploads, and comment and let us know what you thought about this episode.
All right. So we're stepping into round 2 of our Justice League versus Avengers tournament. So, round 1 was pretty interesting. So I'm ready to see what everybody got planned for round 2.
They threw me off with that Marvel answers threw me off. The Marvel side threw me off. I can't cap.
We gonna see how they do today. But if this is your first time listening to Versus Tuesday, and if this is your first time tuning in into the tournament, let me go over the rules. So for each battle, me, Ryan, and Ralph will have 60 seconds to choose our choice and plead our case. After our 60 seconds are over, we will reveal the audience choice. And we'll have a 1 to 2 minute response on that. And we'll keep moving until we get to the end of the battles. That's pretty much it until we get to the final round. So let's get into the first battle. We got Batman versus Superman. Which hero would make an even better villain? And I forgot the timer. Age-old debate. Where's it? It's an age-old debate, but it's on a different level. Because the age-old debate has always been like, who could beat the other? But I feel like putting the villain twist on it makes you think about that on a different level. Because you don't necessarily have to be good. You don't necessarily have to be good at fighting to be a good villain.
Yeah.
I knew this one was coming.
This is All right, we're gonna start with Ryan. 60 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1.
Look, bro, I learned my lesson from the last episode, and I'm gonna say this: Superman would be scary. Superman would be evil. We've seen him as a villain, but Bruce Wayne has a dark side, bro. That man is already not really a hero. That man is very selfish. He knows what what he wants. He's determined. He's dark. He has the money. He has the resources. He has the know-how. If Batman said, I'm going against you, the government, the world, the Justice League, aliens, monsters, whatever, he will be a force to be reckoned with. If he was saying, I don't like none of you, and y'all got to fight me, it's a force to be reckoned with. Can a bullet kill him? Yes. But your chances of making that bullet reach him, very difficult. I got to go with Batman over Superman as a villain, bro. I'll be scared to fight that man, bro.
Well, how the turntables. That was a very opposite response of what you had on round 1, Ryan. How the turntables.
I learned my lesson. I had to listen to the comments. I listened to what you said, and I was like, she makes some points.
All right. Well, we got Ralph. 60 seconds on the clock. Oh, it didn't do it. All right. 3, 2, 1.
It's close. It's super close. But I'll still have to give the edge to Superman. Mainly because if Batman didn't exist, and Superman would actually have motives to go and do the things he do, say if he lost his love, somebody like that, he has motives. Like Batman, the only motive he'll really have is he lost his parents and said that was at a young age. That's what made him, be who he is now. But what else would give him motive to go and be a villain? Like what will push him to give him that drive? So Batman has that drive. Well, no, Superman has that drive. Superman also has more power, and nobody can actually defeat him unless you're like super rich and know what to, get the needs to actually defeat Superman. But we've seen Superman evil. We know what he can do. We know he can do damage. Like I don't think there is more needs to be said about this man power than what we already know. So
All right. Ralph sticking to Superman. All
I
right. It's
respect
on
it.
me. 60 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to have to go with my boy Superman. I'm switching it up. Let me say this. Batman's response to a traumatic event was him becoming Batman. Superman's response to a traumatic event was him becoming dictator of the whole earth. And I'm just going off Injustice alone. Let's talk about the lengths that Superman went to keep his control over Earth. He sided with villains, Sinestro, Victor Zsasz, Bane. Like, he had all of them working for him just to keep the control that he had over the Earth. I have to give it to him. And then Superman is not easily defeatable. Even if you brought, like, they had to bring in outside people to stop this man. Greek guys, the Green Lantern Corps, magic users. If we didn't have any of that, we don't have any of that. Hey. it's the lengths that he went to. After reading Injustice, it was the lengths that he went to keep control over Earth and to defeat Batman.
Yeah.
Was crazy.
And I respect that. Fighting, I don't think you played Elden Ring. Fighting Superman is like fighting a boss in a Souls game, in Dark Souls, Elden Ring, or something like that. It feels impossible, and you're just going to have to keep on fighting. I get it, but it's like if Batman was written as a villain, I just think his story, the concept of how he sets up his empire, whatever, I think it would be wicked, bro. I think that would be a dope villain.
I would think.
I would be curious to see how far he gets.
Yeah.
Like, and
he couldn't do it by himself. I would say this. I don't think that Bruce Wayne could be a villain by himself. Now, if Bruce Wayne went full villain and he had the whole Justice League to back him up, then I could see that. But him by himself,
I could see him manipulating the Justice League and making them support him.
But we're saying the same thing 2 different ways. If he had
on this level, I would see Batman as a anti-hero.
So you don't think he'll make just the greatest villain? Like you don't think he's fully capable of being a full villain?
I don't feel like he's fully capable
going
because
back to Ralph's,
he doesn't have a lot of motive. Like, you need that drive, that motive.
Right.
What if he sided with Ra's al Ghul?
Ra's al Ghul's not really okay. Ra's al Ghul is one of those complex type villains. Now, if Batman is on that level, that it makes him a villain, but he's not just like it's like, because Ra's al Ghul doesn't do anything without reason. Like, Ra's al Ghul just doesn't go out and kill people. Ra's al Ghul just doesn't do stuff without reason. Now, if Batman was a villain on that level, then that's cool, but then he makes sense. He becomes one of those villains where his reasoning makes sense.
Right.
But aren't those the best written villains? Like, for me personally, I love a villain where I understand, and the reason they're the villain is not simply because, oh, I want to conquer the world and I'm evil. They're the villain because I have motives, but they go against the protagonist. I feel like those are the best villains.
That goes back to Ralph's thing, though, is like, what motive would he have? Like
I
the
think it.
biggest traumatic event out of Bruce Wayne's life, he chose to become a superhero. So what's going to be that next big traumatic event that's going to push him to do something, like to push him to be a villain?
I think the writers
The
could
only
do
thing that
something
would
with
actually
that. Whether
push
he
him
get
to be
manipulated, where
close
he sides with Ra's al
would be
Ghul.
Alfred.
But he lost so going back to Injustice, he lost Alfred. Alfred died in Injustice. And Batman kept being the good Batman that he was. He did straddle some lines, but he was going against Superman. So you gotta straddle some lines, but he kept his morals. I won't say his morals, but he just didn't go full villain when Alfred died.
Hmm.
So I would say it would be tough to push Batman over the edge. I won't say that it can't be done. I would say it would be tough to push him over the edge.
Let's see
But
what the
let's see
audience thinks.
what the audience had to say. I have the
Lord.
envelope. So we got 21 responses this time. So out of 21 votes, Batman won by 90.5% and Superman lost by 9.5%. Damn! Damn.
Let's
That's
go!
crazy.
Let's go!
I'm not even mad because I felt like Batman was gonna come out on top out of this, but I think both of them, even Superman included, I think both of them would need something really like the biggest push ever to make them go over and be a villain.
I
I
just think
Yeah.
think
Batman's
both
will
of
be
them
well
would
written
need.
though. Batman, I just feel like he'll be a if they did that, I think he'll be a well written villain.
I think, yeah, yeah. I think if they switch the storyline to where he just succumbed to the darkness, like at the very beginning, and then went forward. So
Damn.
Let's go,
I'm not
audience.
mad at I'm not mad. I am not mad at the results. I'm not mad at the results. I felt like Batman was gonna come on top, but I just feel like, I don't know. Just seeing the lengths that Superman will go through was just
Right.
like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the next battle, we have
That was good.
Aquaman versus the Flash. So,
Mm.
we're going to start with Ryan. 60 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1.
If I remember correctly, I think I voted for both of them in their first battles. And I gotta go Flash for the same reason I went for him last time. Aquaman would be scary. Aquaman would make a scary villain. I don't know his motivations, but I could just imagine reading a book where you think you're going against this ultimate villain, and then boom, next chapter, next volume, you're going up against this villain again. Boom, next chapter, you're going up against this villain again because you don't even realize that you're in a time paradox. You don't even realize that this man went back in time and said, I see how you beat me. I'm going to come back and get you. I don't know if y'all watch Tokyo Avengers, but it's a dope concept, bro. I feel like the Flash, especially depending on his motivations, he'll make a well-written villain, bro. And that one ability alone would make him amazing because you got to figure out how to beat him before he can do it. You got to figure out how to off him.
All right. Ryan gone with the Flash. We moving on to Ralph. 60 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1.
I think I didn't pick either one of these to win. I would have to say the Flash, simply because this man can go back in time. I didn't realize I'm not much of a Flash fan, so I didn't realize he can go back in time and stuff, and pretty much recreate time how he wants it if he wanted to. Like you can pretty much be in a death loop the entire time and you wouldn't even know it. Like you could just be running in circles trying to figure out what's going on, and you'll never figure it out. So that's a lot scarier than seeing what's at the bottom of the ocean, because What if he just wants you to die over and over? What if he just wants you to experience death over and over and over again? So that's my reason.
For his
Which one of
satisfaction.
his villains has done? All right. Ralph is also going with the Flash, so it's on me. 60 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1. I also have to stay with the Flash. Like, going against an entity that you can't see, going against an entity that could slow down or speed up time at will, going against an entity that could rewrite history at will, going against an entity that has a whole force that exists out of time and space that he can just chill in. We would never be able to find him. Like, I get it. I got it before with Aquaman, but like, this man can move so fast, he could terrorize the whole planet in maybe an hour. and we wouldn't know. We would know that something's going on. We would know that something's going on. We just wouldn't know what it is. And by the time we figure it out, I feel like we would be too late. That's how fast that man can move.
And that's the thing, bro. You touched on a good point, Food, because it's not like every villain, you know, we in the last argument we had to tackle will be their trigger, will be their breaking point to make them switch to a villain. If Flash hits his breaking point, it takes less than a nanosecond for him to act on it. Like
exactly. The man thinks so fast.
Like the second you piss him off and make him the villain, you won't have time to make up for that mistake, bro. And then seeing that
and then
written,
he has allies. I can see it as if Flash wanted to become head honcho villain, he has Reverse Flash on his side. That's two Flash villains.
even
So
if you was
both
able
of
to
them could
off
just
one of them,
both of them would just be out here doing stuff, and we would not know a thing. Like, what's that quote? You fear what you can't see.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he gonna be out here. He's gonna be out here.
And in DC, when it comes to their views of time travel, is there, I can't remember, is there time travel views that once you go back in time, you create a new time loop, and now you're on that one, the people from the other loop
Yes.
still exist? So that
he can make multiple time streams if he
so you
wanted
could
to.
be on the time stream where you got close to beating them and you lose, and now you realize, dang, another time stream now has to experience this villain, and it's probably going to go through something worse. Imagine the writing behind that.
He could start Armageddon. He has started Armageddon. If you've ever watched Justice League Flashpoint Paradox,
I did.
for him, he went back in time to save his mama. Very, very lovely deed to go back and save your mama. But he started Armageddon. Now imagine if he went back and changed time on purpose, knowing that when he gets back, it's gonna be Armageddon. Like, what?
I'm sorry,
And like
bro.
Ryan said, he could do it in a millisecond. He can sit there and decide in a millisecond he wants to start Armageddon and go do it, and we wouldn't know.
It'll just be too hard to off him, bro. Even if it was the entire Justice League, that'll be difficult. He could go back and stop each of their births or something. You never know.
If he wanted to get that deep, he could start picking off Justice League members one by one by going back in time alone. He don't even have to fight them in their prime.
Honestly,
it would literally take Batman in one time stream going to another time stream.
Like, changing one thing in history, you can
Go ahead, Ralph.
rewrite everybody's life. Like, it's
pretty
crazy.
Much.
And that's scary, bro.
It's the time travel thing for me. It's the time travel thing for me. Him having the ability to go back and change time at will takes him over the top. It does.
Exactly.
But let's see what the audience has to say.
Once
again, out of 21 votes, I keep opening this the wrong way. The Flash won by 61.9%, and Aquaman lost by 38.1%. I have, I want to know how many people voted for Aquaman, and then they put him against the Flash, and they was like, "Oh no, bro, no. You losing this one?
You ain't got this."
You losing this one. Let me, if I could put the card back in the damn envelope.
Technical difficulties. We built the plane while we fly it.
All right, y'all. So we're leaving DC and we're about to get into our 2 Marvel battles. So the next battle is Captain America versus Hulk. All right, now we finna start with Ryan. 60 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1.
If I remember correctly, bro, I lost both of these votes, bro, and I'd be damned if y'all let Captain America make it further. He is trash. He would not be a fun villain, bro. No. Put Hulk up there on the board. I lost the argument, but yeah, that planet devastation, whatever Portia Foop called it, Hulk, I pick him over Captain America, bro. Don't let Captain America move forward, bro. I hate him, bro. But in all seriousness, Hulk would be scary. When Foop explained to me how he can gain his intelligence, still be in Hulk mode, get stronger as he gets angrier, and she reminded me of some of that lore and taught me some new stuff, I'm not gonna cap. Hulk would be pretty damn scary, bro. And if you write him correctly, I'm going with Hulk.
They have written the man correctly. Let's get into it. Well, we're moving on to Ralph. 60 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1.
Please let Hulk win. Please, Jesus. Because by history,
okay,
and I think everybody can attest to this, that every Captain America movie that they've made has pretty much been a miss in comparison to all the other movies that Marvel has made. So, with that being said, I don't think he would make a good villain. Compared to others, I don't think he'll make a good villain. You know.
He said,
But Hulk, Devastation, I think you said Hulk, Devastation Hulk or something like that. He, after what you said, Worldbreaker Hulk, after what you said, listen, that's a scary man. And he's smart. I don't see him losing in a villain battle.
Y'all getting Naruto mixed up with this whole thing. Talking about planetary devastation.
You know what?
Y'all didn't turn the Hulk into a Akatsuki member and talk about planetary devastation.
The world will know pain.
The world will know Hulk, goddamn. But alright, it's on me. 60 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna have to stick with Hulk because going back to my thing is that at a certain point, Hulk cannot be reasoned with. Now, I voted for Captain America on the first round because on a political level, Captain America could do some damage. But imagine Captain America standing on the podium and the Hulk just bomb rush him for no reason. Like, it's over with. It's over with at that point. Like, at a certain point, Hulk cannot be reasoned with. Like, just still World Breaker Hulk. But there's something about villains that can't be reasoned with. And even in the World War Hulk storyline, he had a reason for doing what he was doing, but everybody who tried to confront him on it and everybody who tried to talk to him from it did not have a happy ending. You are not going to be able to reason with that man once he gets pissed off. It's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wrap.
I don't know where I got devastation from. Food. I swear. I was like, isn't that what she called him?
Y'all watching?
Listen,
Y'all
apparently I've been watching Naruto.
y'all been watching too much. Y'all been watching too much Naruto.
Look,
Like all I
see
saw when y'all said planetary devastation, all I saw was Hulk in a Akatsuki robe floating over the
The world
city,
will
talking
know
about
pain.
planetary devastation. He floating over the village. Hulk smash.
but that's the thing, man. Like, if I got it, which comic? If I could read the comic for Hulk, I might have to go back. If they turned that into a movie or an animated film,
Watch. So Planet Hulk is animated. Planet Hulk comes first, and then it's World War Hulk. So you could go watch Planet Hulk, or you could read Planet Hulk, and then after that, read World War Hulk.
Okay, because that's essentially a Titan with the knowledge of a scientist saying, with any motivation, saying, "I want to take over." I'm sorry, that'd be wicked. That'd be wicked. Because Hulk as a scientist, like, I know in comparison to the Superman versus Batman, someone may say I'm contradicting myself, but I never just saw Superman as like the most elite thinker. I'm not saying he's stupid. I'm not saying he ain't got super intelligence. I just never viewed him in that way.
He thinks fast, but the scale, like, he doesn't have Bruce Wayne or Tony Stark level of intelligence, or Bruce Wayne level of intelligence. Like Superman's not stupid, but he's not as smart as them.
And Hulk with his scientific mind, when he has his powers under control, that would be deadly. That's a deadly combination.
That's crazy. If I turn on my local news station and y'all talking about the Hulk is just smashing buildings, he done ran through a country. It's what do we do? What do we do?
I'm calling the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I'll be like, hey, it's gonna be over with in a few minutes. Like, can I meet my superheroes? Can I meet the folks I love? Like, at this point, just let me go out with a bang.
They going out to fight Hulk. You not meeting nobody. You not meeting nobody.
Bro, I'm running to the edge of the earth. I don't know what I'll do. I'll ask him if I can side with him. I'll say, put me on your...
Can I work for you? What? Can I work for you?
On your side?
Please.
I love the color scheme. Green and purple looks amazing on me. Can I work with you?
Like, what you need? What do you need? I got it. What do you need? And if I don't got it, I'll go get it. Just tell me what you need.
Exactly.
But let's see what the audience got to say. So, for Captain America versus Hulk, out of 21 votes, I keep opening this stuff the wrong way.
I'm glad the video quality bad enough to where we can't see it.
Nah, I saw every word of that.
But the Hulk won by 66.7%, and Captain America lost by 33.3%. So they came through.
I'm so surprised that all these are close. I'm surprised that all these are so close, and Bruce just beat Superman by like 90-something.
Batman beat the brakes off Superman. Like,
yeah.
Hey.
He did. I saw crazy. That number and I was like, I was not expecting the number to be that low. Like, right. I was expecting Batman to win by 90. What?
Woo.
All right, y'all. So we're moving on to the last battle. We have Thor versus Iron Man. Which hero would make an even better villain? We gonna start with you, Ron. He looked devastated already.
Let me take a breath. Let me take a breath on this one. Let's
take a moment of silence, because this was a tough one for me. This was a tough one for me because I voted for both of them in round one. It's a tough one.
Okay, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready for the argument.
All right, now. 60 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1.
If I can go strictly off writing potential, going against Thor, going against a god, going against an army of gods, Going against an army of gods with their own army of demigods and worshippers. That's tough. Going against a man who can create an army of drones that can continue to create themselves. This man could create the ultimate Terminator and then have an AI that will continue to build the stuff after him. And he is so intelligent that at some point you probably wouldn't even be fighting him. You'll be fighting his AI. He could live on eternally as a god. I think I'm going to pick Iron Man. If I saw that written into a comic, written into a movie, I think that would be sick. I think that would be cold.
All right. So Ryan chose Iron Man. We're going on to Ralph. 60 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1.
I know I picked Thor. But Lord, this is a tough debate because you have, of course, a Greek god. And he can get other gods if you want to turn evil and possibly come down and rain all hell fury on Earth. But then you have Iron Man, which would pretty much go back to Ryan's analogy, be the Terminator of what we know now. Like, this man doesn't have to be alive to cause chaos. He can literally program any AI or anything, any living or non-living thing to be his minion and continue his bidding after he is gone. Yes, this man is human, but however, if you cannot stop the brains of this operation that he has going, what there's nothing you can do. All you just have to do is accept the fate that you're probably going to be in hell for the longest. With that being said, I'm pick Iron Man.
Ralph said he don't play about them robots. He said them robots come out. It's over with. It's over with for everybody. He don't play about them robots.
It is, bro.
All right. So it's on me. 60 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1. I too am going to have to pick Iron Man. From going back to my previous reasons, it's the man can, all of his tech could exist out of any country. He could make his own network, his own state of communication, his own Wi-Fi. And at what point are we going to be able to break into that? Then let's go into his AI and how that evolved into Ultron and then later evolved into Vision. If he wanted to mass produce both of them boys, it's a wrap. Then let's say Thor does show up and let's say that Iron Man becomes aware that there are beings that live outside of Earth. He could invent something that shuts all of that down and nobody could get in or out. So then what? We stuck on a planet with an AI that nobody can get into, that can see everything that we doing from the internet to when we go to sleep. And
what was the AI in Terminator? Skylink, Starlink. If Tony Stark,
no, it's Skynet.
Skynet. Tony Stark could create that. Tony Stark, if his AI lives on, he's already created his own energy source. That man could create a lightsaber. That man could create the Death Star while deceased.
He can make a watchtower. He don't even gotta live. He ain't gotta even live on the planet no more.
Bro, every sci-fi film we've watched, you could make Tony Stark the villain and it would make sense based off how Tony Stark is written, bro. I'm sorry, bro. That would be wicked if he was the villain.
Like, I'm just saying that some of that stuff would hit close to home. Like, you wake up and Ultron bots everywhere. Like, bro, it's gonna be Terminator mixed with iRobot. It's gonna be a mess.
Bro, like, imagine, like, you're fighting this war against drones and it's like, we gotta get Tony Stark. Oh, Tony passed away 120 years ago. He's an illusion. I am Jarvis, the Tony Stark. Like, come on, bro!
Like, you think it's Tony, like, going back to Naruto, like, you think Pain and the rest of them head honcho Nagato hiding in a tree, controlling all of them. Like he wasn't even
and
there.
then he being controlled by Obito. Then Obito being controlled by Madara, and Madara's life is being led by Kaguya.
Like
Replace that with Tony Stark AI.
It would be a mess. It would be a mess. It's to me, it's just the fact that he could exist outside of our whole network. Like he could go off the grid, have all his stuff connected through his own type of sources. And if we ever had to combat that, think about the time that it would take to even break through his firewall, to even get something.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And you're fighting world-destroying drones, robots, machines. Like it's own energy source. He has his own energy source. An EMP grenade could shut down the world. He could create that. He has his own energy source that could live through that.
Crazy. But I have the results right here. I'm finna see where this writing at, because y'all not finna get me this time. Okay, I got it. Out of 21 votes, Thor won by 57.1%, and Iron Man lost by 42.9%. Dang!
No, bro. No, bro. No, bro. Y'all suck. No, bro.
So y'all walked away. So while we wait for my co-host to come back to their seats, I feel y'all. Thor's a god. It's very hard to beat him, and then like the resources that he could pull out if he actually like wanted to become a villain. Like I feel y'all on that. I just feel like the Robo thing would be scarier if Iron Man had made Ultron on purpose. I mean, he did make him on purpose, but like if he made him on purpose for like evil purposes, I feel like that is scarier than a god touching down and wanting world, domination. But
the same folks who voted for Thor went 91% to 9 for Batman and Superman. Superman basically is a god among men. Yeah.
I guess but Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark have very different personalities, and they have very different motives of why they became superheroes in the first place, and they fight very different villains as well, because all of Batman's villains in one sense are a reflection of himself if he ever chose to go down that path. And like his villains are very sick in themselves, and like based on who we seen Iron Man fight. It was close though. I'm not too upset though, because it was close. Like we did have some Iron Man rooters in here.
I think somebody just misclicked the button. They got to the last option and they thought they clicked Iron Man. The Google Doc was flawed. Somebody hacked it. I don't agree with this, bro. I don't agree with this, bro. I can't grasp this, bro.
All right. So we've made it to the end of round 2. Just to announce who's going on to round 3, we have Batman, the Flash, the Hulk, and Thor. Ooh, that's gonna be a good one. So make sure you guys tune in for round 3. Leave a comment on our video. To just let us know how the tournament's going, how you're enjoying it, and how you feel about the winners of round 2. And with that being said, Ralph, lead us out.
I'm still in utter shock. Okay. All right. So thank you guys for watching and are listening for this beautiful episode. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at the Blurred Mob Pod. Make sure you guys follow us on TikTok and Facebook at the Blurred Mob Podcast, and make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at the Blurred Mob. And with that being said, I love you 3000.
Oh, goodbye, Iron Man. You won't be making it to.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.